Alright guys, today we're going to do an eval on TDX SP2. The main complaint was that the power chair is not powering on and the batteries are discharging. So what I'm going to do is, here's the power chair. Hopefully you guys can see that right there. And as you can tell, it's bent. You got the foot plate. That's bent pretty bad. Actually pretty bad. So that whole stem mechanism right here is bent completely, so definitely gonna have to replace that part. And then you do have the joystick as well that's bent. So you have the armrest that's bent, that's torn up. This is your Invacare TDX SP2. So I can already tell you what the problem is already. Okay, so it's not powering on, and the reason why is I don't even have to stick voltage or my voltage meter to get battery voltage, which I still am. But the problem with this is that the power chair does come on. Now it's blinking right now because I have it disengaged from the motors. So let me engage the motors real quick on each side. Okay, I'm going to power it back on. Okay, and we should get power. Perfect. So power's on, it's working. But I'm going to show you guys something that I just noticed. But before I do that, I'm going to get voltage because the customer's complaining that the power chair is discharging quick. And I could tell you why as well. Because when he's charging it and the power chair is not powering on, it's not charging. And I'm going to show you guys why here in a minute. So I'm going to set this at 200. I'm going to plug in my leads on these holes right here. Hopefully you can see that, the top two holes. So right now I'm getting 25.6 voltage, which is good. 25.6 is actually really good. Obviously he hasn't been charging the chair because it hasn't been getting charged. Now I'm going to show you why the power chair doesn't come on sometimes or turns off, and it doesn't charge when it's turned off, because I noticed that the cable to the joystick, if you see it right there, it's broken. Okay, so as soon as I twist this joystick, let me turn this off, which this is also bent, but there, I brought it straight the way it should be. Now if you noticed the cable, once I pop this cable out, check this out, boom, it's completely busted. Okay, so this is actually the extension cable. Check that out. So it's missing one of the protectors on the joystick, which is it's not in there. I mean, it's still clear, so it's not in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this back in here, and then I'm going to straighten this out without breaking it, and I'm going to see if I still get juice. Okay, now ideally you would want that protector in there, but it's lost. And then the other piece that goes to this right here is broken inside here. So that being said, I am going to try to remove that part. Okay, see that? I'm going to try to remove that part right there, which I should be able to. That way I will not have to replace the joystick. So there we go. Just by tapping that, it came off. So it's clear now. The joystick is good. I'm going to pop this back in. There we go. It's not going to snap in place, but it should come on now. We should get power. And we do. Perfect. So we have power. Now, like I said, we are going to have to replace that cable for sure. Voltage is good. I'm gonna plug it in before I leave and tell the customer to plug it in for at least 12 hours today, and then unplug it and not to use it until we get him a new cable. And then of course they're not going to cover this part probably under warranty because he did bent it pretty bad, but I'm going to try to get it as straight as possible. That way I'll still put in an order for it, but I'm going to try to get it as straight as possible. But that's how you eval a power chair. I mean, if it's pretty straightforward if you see what the problem is. But most cases, if the customer calls and says that the power chair is not coming on, it could be two things: the cable, which mainly is going to be the batteries. You would check the battery voltage first. If you don't get no voltage through the joystick, then I would definitely go through the harness on the back. And if you don't get nothing from there, then I would pull the batteries out and check each battery individually, because it might be a fuse. So, but anyways, this was an easy eval. Like I said, I'm going to write down the parts that I need. I'm going to see if I can straighten this out, which, I mean, that's better than it was before. So I'll let him know that he has to be careful. But I'm going to see if that works, because if the actuator got damaged, then it's not going to work. But let's see. So let's go to the legs, bring them up. Yeah. So the legs are working. I'm going to bring it up a little bit higher, and I'm going to straighten it out a little bit better, have more leverage. Let's see here, without trying to damage the actuator. There we go. So that's as straight as it's going to get without having to replace parts. So that's good. And then of course, if you guys I don't want to put that on the seat. Blue stayed on there. Perfect. Okay. So obviously another thing that you would check would be your battery charger. And the way you would check the battery charger is you would get voltage through the joystick first. Like for instance, we got 25.6, and then you would record that, and you would plug in your battery charger, leave it plugged in for about 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and if the voltage goes up above what it was before, then your battery charger is good. So let me make sure everything's working. We got the tilt going, which it looks fine. Bring this back down. So yeah, I mean, it's basically going to be the extension cable on the joystick, and everything else is going to be good to go. Whenever I guess I can, while I'm here, I do like to bring my my blower gun, especially to these evals, because a lot of times the customer cannot clean it or wipe it down itself. So I'm going to go ahead and dust it off real quick, just to get all the dust off, and then when I come back and replace the cable, then I'll kind of clean it up a little bit for him. But it doesn't look that bad. I think it's mainly in the back that kind of looks pretty bad, but not too bad. So let me grab this real quick, take one of the batteries off, and I mean, at least we'll be able to get all the dust off, especially from back here. That's good. Yeah, there's no need to lube anything right now. Everything is working good. So, but anyways, yeah, hopefully that helps whenever you guys do an eval. You know, like I said, the customer was saying that the power chair wasn't coming on, wasn't powering on. So those are things to check for. I would definitely check first battery voltage, and then from there I would start with cable, That's some, you know, and the reason why is because it's out in the open. Like this cable is out in the open. You could get your voltage checked through here, and then if nothing happens from there, then you start going internal into the machine itself. But all right, fellas, hopefully that helps. You guys have a wonderful day.